Elon Musk walked into the courtroom with his usual calm demeanor, a slight smirk playing on his lips. Dressed in a sharp, well-tailored suit, he exuded confidence, something that had become synonymous with his name. The courtroom was packed, journalists and spectators eager to witness the legal battle that had drawn national attention. At the judge's bench sat Judge Albert Grayson, a man known for his sharp tongue and no-nonsense approach to the law. He had seen his fair share of high-profile cases, but today's hearing seemed almost like a joke to him. Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur, had decided to represent himself in court, a move that made Grayson raise an eyebrow. "So, Mr. Musk," the judge began, barely concealing his amusement, "you're telling me you'll be defending yourself today?" Musk nodded, his blue-gray eyes meeting the judge's with unwavering confidence. "That's correct, Your Honor." A chuckle rippled through the courtroom. The opposing counsel, an experienced attorney named Richard Holloway, smirked as he exchanged glances with his legal team. "All right," Judge Grayson said, shaking his head. "Let's proceed." The case had originated from a lawsuit filed against Musk by a former investor who claimed he had been misled by one of Musk's tweets regarding Tesla's stock. The plaintiff's attorneys were well prepared, armed with legal jargon and technicalities designed to trap Musk into a legal corner. Holloway stood up first, walking confidently toward the jury. "Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here because of a reckless statement made by Mr. Musk. A single tweet that manipulated the stock market, costing my client millions. And now, Mr. Musk thinks he can waltz into this courtroom without a lawyer and simply talk his way out of it." A few chuckles echoed in the gallery. Even Judge Grayson shook his head slightly, as if doubting Musk's decision to go solo. But Musk remained unfazed. He leaned back in his chair, fingers steepled together, listening carefully. Holloway turned toward him. "Mr. Musk, let's cut to the chase. Do you deny that you tweeted about taking Tesla private at $420 per share?" Musk nodded. "No, I don't deny that." "So you admit to making a statement that directly affected Tesla's stock price?" Holloway pressed, his voice laced with confidence. Musk smiled. "I admit that my words have impact, but I also admit that my tweet was based on genuine considerations at the time. I had secured funding." Holloway scoffed. "Oh, really? Then, why did the deal never happen?" Musk leaned forward. "Because I realized that taking Tesla private was not in the best interest of the shareholders. My responsibility is to them first." Holloway was about to respond, but Musk raised a finger. "Also, if we're talking about market impact, let's not ignore the numerous analysts and media outlets that influence stock prices daily with speculation. Are they held legally responsible when their words cause market fluctuations?" Theotorinam. Courtroom went silent. Judge Grayson arched an eyebrow. Holloway quickly recovered. "Mr. Musk, you are not a financial analyst. You are the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. Your words carry far more weight." "Exactly," Musk agreed. "Which is why my statements are scrutinized more than anyone else's. Yet, I've never been accused of insider trading, nor have I profited personally from any of my tweets." Holloway hesitated for a split second, and Musk seized the moment. "You're implying I manipulated the stock market, but let me ask you this. If an investor bought Tesla stock based on my tweet and held onto it, where would they be now?" Room tensed. Everyone knew the answer. Tesla's stock had skyrocketed since that tweet. Judge Grayson tapped his gavel lightly. "Mr. Musk, I'll remind you that you're here to answer questions, not ask them." Musk nodded. "Of course, Your Honor, but I believe my point is clear." Judge Grayson sighed. "Continue, Mr. Holloway." Holloway shifted gears. "Mr. Musk, do you believe that billionaires like yourself should be above the law?" Musk tilted his head. "Not at all. I believe in accountability, but I also believe in fairness. This lawsuit is not about justice. It's about an attempt to make money off of me." The plaintiff's attorney frowned. That's quite a bold claim. Musk shrugged. It's also true. He turned toward the jury. Every major entrepreneur in history has faced lawsuits. It's part of the game. But let's be honest, if this tweet had caused Tesla's stock to plummet instead of rise, would we be sitting here today? No, because there would be no money to gain from suing me. A murmur swept through the crowd. Judge Grayson rubbed his temples. Mr. Musk, while I appreciate your confidence, I suggest you stick to legal arguments. Musk smiled. Gladly, Your Honor. He then proceeded to dismantle the case piece by piece. He referenced specific SEC regulations, quoted previous court rulings, and even cited examples of similar cases where CEOs had been let off the hook due to lack of concrete evidence of intentional manipulation. Holloway tried to regain control. Mr. Musk, you are not a lawyer. Do you really expect this court to take your legal analysis seriously? Musk didn't miss a beat. I may not have a law degree, but I've built rockets, revolutionized the auto industry, and studied enough to know the law well enough to defend myself. A chuckle spread through the room. Even Judge Grayson couldn't suppress a small smile. By the time closing arguments rolled around, it was clear that Musk had done more than just hold his own. He had turned the case on its head. The jury was no longer looking at him as a reckless billionaire, but as a sharp-minded businessman who understood his own words better than the lawyers trying to prosecute him. Judge Grayson sighed, finally realizing Musk wasn't just another wealthy defendant who would crumble under pressure. All right, I've heard enough. The jury will deliberate. Hours later, the verdict came in. Musk was not liable. As the courtroom erupted in chatter, Musk stood, straightened his tie, and turned to Judge Grayson. I appreciate the opportunity to defend myself, Your Honor. Judge Grayson smirked. I have to admit, Mr. Musk, you put on quite a show. Musk chuckled. I do my best. And with that, he walked out, victorious once again. As Musk stepped out of the courtroom, cameras flashed and reporters swarmed him, eager to capture his reaction to the unexpected victory. He adjusted his tie and smirked slightly, as if he had known the outcome all along. A journalist from a major news network shoved a microphone toward him. Mr. Musk, how do you feel about representing yourself and winning against a team of seasoned lawyers? Musk gave a small shrug. Well, I don't like wasting money on unnecessary things, he said dryly. And since I knew the facts better than anyone else, I figured I'd save myself the trouble of explaining them to a lawyer. Another reporter chimed in. Do you think this case sets a precedent for other CEOs handling their own legal battles? Musk chuckled. I wouldn't recommend it to most, but I enjoy a good challenge. The crowd erupted with more questions, but Musk had already spotted his Tesla Cybertruck parked at the curb where his security team was waiting. Without another word, he strode past the reporters, climbed into the driver's seat, and sped off, leaving the media frenzy behind. Inside the courthouse, Judge Grayson remained seated, still processing the day's events. He had walked into that courtroom expecting to see Musk fumble his way through legal procedures, perhaps making a fool of himself. Instead, he had witnessed something entirely different. A man who had not only outmaneuvered a highly skilled legal team, but had done so with a combination of intelligence, wit, and undeniable confidence. Richard Holloway, the opposing attorney, slumped into his chair, running a hand through his hair in frustration. I don't get it, he muttered to one of his colleagues. He had no legal background, no formal training, yet he managed to pick apart every argument we threw at him. His colleague sighed. You underestimated him, Richard. That was the mistake. Judge Grayson finally stood up and gathered his papers. As he walked toward his chambers, he paused and looked back toward the now empty defense table where Musk had sat just hours ago. A smirk crossed his face. Well, I'll be damned, he muttered under his breath. Maybe the guy really is a genius. Meanwhile, at Tesla headquarters, Musk walked into the main office, greeted by a standing ovation from his employees. Word had spread fast. Elon Musk had just won his own legal battle, proving once again why he was a force to be reckoned with. One of his top engineers, Martin, grinned as he approached. So, Elon, when are you launching Musk Legal Services? Musk laughed. Let's stick to rockets and cars for now. The mood was light, but there was an undeniable energy in the air. Musk had once again defied expectations, showing the world that he wasn't just a businessman. He was a man who thrived on challenges, whether they came from Wall Street, the legal system, or the stars above. As he sat down at his desk, Musk pulled out his phone and opened Twitter. He typed a single sentence. Turns out, the courtroom is just another kind of launch pad. He hit send. Within minutes, the tweet was trending worldwide. Elon Musk had won. As Musk's tweet exploded across social media, reactions poured in from every corner of the internet. Some praised him for his intelligence and tenacity, calling him a modern-day genius who could outthink anyone in any field. Others, particularly his critics, accused him of grandstanding, claiming he had only won because of his wealth and influence. Musk, however, wasn't concerned with the noise. He leaned back in his chair at Tesla headquarters, watching the world react in real time. A notification popped up. His legal battle had just been covered by nearly every major news outlet. Breaking news. Elon Musk wins lawsuit after representing himself in court. CNN ran a segment debating whether Musk's courtroom success proved he was more than just a businessman. Fox News highlighted how his legal arguments exposed the weakness of the case against him. Even satirical outlets like The Onion joined in, running the headline. Elon Musk to build AI lawyer, defend himself in every court case moving forward. Musk chuckled at that one. He wouldn't put it past himself to try. Just then, his phone buzzed. It was a text from his longtime friend and fellow billionaire, Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel. Not bad. Maybe you should consider buying a law firm. Next to Cox, Musk smirked and fired back a response. Musk. Nah, too slow. Maybe I'll just create an AI lawyer that can outthink every attorney on the planet. Within seconds, Thiel replied. Peter Thiel. That actually sounds terrifying. Do it. Musk put his phone down and turned his attention back to work. Lawsuits, courtrooms, and legal battles were just distractions. His real focus was still on innovation. There were rockets to launch, AI to develop, and electric cars to revolutionize. But before he could move on, his assistant, Claire, knocked on his office door. Elon, there's someone here to see you. Musk raised an eyebrow. Who? Claire hesitated. Judge Grayson. Musk's curiosity piqued. Send him in. Moments later, Judge Albert Grayson stepped into Musk's office, now dressed in a casual blazer instead of his robe. His expression was one of amusement and curiosity rather than authority. Musk stood and extended a hand. Didn't expect to see you here, Your Honor. Grayson shook his hand. Call me Albert. And yeah, I figured I'd drop by. You impressed me in that courtroom, Musk. Musk smirked. Not bad for an amateur, huh? Grayson chuckled. Not bad at all. Honestly, I came here because I had to ask. Where did you learn to argue like that? I've seen seasoned attorneys fold under pressure, but you handled it like you'd been in a courtroom your whole life. Musk leaned back in his chair. I didn't learn law the traditional way. I just applied the same principles I use in engineering. Break down the problem, find the flaws in the system, and exploit them. Grayson laughed. You make it sound so simple. Musk shrugged. Most things are if you look at them the right way. Grayson studied him for a moment. Well, Musk, if you ever get bored of building spaceships and cars, maybe consider teaching a few law classes. I think a lot of young lawyers could learn something from you. Musk smirked. Noted, but I think I'll stick to rockets. Grayson nodded, then turned to leave. At the door, he glanced back. Oh, and one more thing. Try not to end up in my courtroom again. Musk grinned. No promises. As the judge walked out, Musk turned back to his work. Another challenge had come and gone, and once again he had walked away victorious. But Musk knew one thing for sure. There would always be another battle ahead. And whether it was in a courtroom, on Wall Street, or in the vast reaches of space, he'd be ready. As Judge Grayson walked out of Tesla's headquarters, Musk leaned back in his chair, a thoughtful expression on his face. His legal battle had been just another obstacle, another challenge to conquer. But in the grand scheme of things, it was nothing compared to what lay ahead. His mind quickly shifted gears. There were far more important things to focus on. SpaceX was preparing for its next Starship launch. Tesla was ramping up production on its latest models, and Neuralink was making breakthroughs that could redefine human cognition. He pulled up his laptop and glanced at his calendar. A meeting with Tesla's engineering team in 15 minutes. A call with SpaceX Mission Control in an hour. The pace never slowed, and that's exactly how he liked it. Just then, his phone vibrated. Another text. This time from none other than his longtime rival-turned-reluctant admirer, Jeff Bezos. Bezos. Congrats, lawyer Musk. Didn't see that coming. Musk chuckled and replied. Musk. Thanks, Jeff. Maybe I should start offering Amazon Prime. Legal services. A few seconds later, Bezos responded. Bezos. Stick to rockets. Courtrooms are boring. Musk smirked. Agreed. With that, he put his phone down. His legal victory had already become old news in his mind. The real excitement lay in the future. As he walked toward the Tesla engineering room, he muttered to himself, all right, back to work. Enough courtroom drama. Little did he know, the world wasn't done talking about his victory just yet. The next morning. News stations were still running segments on Musk's courtroom success. Legal analysts debated whether his arguments had set a new precedent for corporate lawsuits. Social media was ablaze with memes, some depicting Musk as a legal genius, others humorously suggesting he'd take on the Supreme Court next. One particularly viral tweet read, Musk just walked into a courtroom, outsmarted a team of lawyers, and walked out with a win. Meanwhile, I can't even argue my way out of a parking ticket. Late-night hosts also jumped on the story. Jimmy Fallon joked, Elon Musk represented himself and won. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he ran for president and somehow ended up on Mars at the same time. But while the internet was still obsessed, Musk had already moved on. Inside Tesla's innovation lab, he stood in front of a massive whiteboard covered in equations, sketches, and futuristic car designs. The engineers around him listened intently as he discussed the next steps for the Cybertruck. We need a better alloy, Musk said, tapping the board. Something tougher, lighter, and easier to produce at scale. Let's experiment with some new composites. One engineer hesitated. That might take months of testing, Elon. Musk grinned. Then we'd better start now. As the team got to work, Claire, his assistant, entered the room. Elon, you have a request from Stanford Law School. Musk raised an eyebrow. For what? They want you to give a guest lecture on legal strategy. The entire room burst into laughter. Even Musk couldn't help but chuckle. He shook his head. Tell them I appreciate the offer, but I've got rockets to build. Claire smirked. I figured you'd say that. As she left, Musk turned, back to his engineers. All right, he said, clapping his hands together. Enough distractions. Let's make history. And just like that, Elon Musk was back in his element, pushing the boundaries of technology, challenging the impossible, and leaving the rest of the world struggling to keep up. The courtroom was behind him. The future was waiting. A few weeks later. Despite Musk's attempt to move on, the legal world hadn't forgotten. His courtroom performance had become the subject of law school debates, business school case studies, and even a few conspiracy theories. Some claimed he had secretly studied law for years. Others believed he had used AI to prepare his arguments, running legal simulations at a scale never seen before. Musk, of course, found the speculation amusing. One day, as he walked through the SpaceX facility, an intern nervously approached him. Mr. Musk? Musk stopped and looked at him. Yeah? I just wanted to say, that was the most insane thing I've ever seen in court. I mean, you basically destroyed a top legal team with logic alone. Musk chuckled. Thanks, but honestly, it wasn't that hard. The intern blinked in surprise. Really? Musk nodded. Law is just another system, like physics, like engineering. Every system has weaknesses. You just have to find them. The EOS. Intern hesitated, then asked, So, you didn't use AI to help you prepare? Musk smirked. Not this time. Meanwhile, on Wall Street. Investors were buzzing. Musk's courtroom victory had done something unexpected. It had increased confidence in Tesla and SpaceX. Analysts noted that his ability to navigate the legal system with such precision showed just how unpredictable and resilient he truly was. Some hedge funds that had shorted Tesla stock quietly reversed their positions. Elon Musk just proved he can't be taken down, one financial expert said on live television. If he can win in a courtroom without a lawyer, what can he do? Tesla's stock, which had already been performing well, saw a sudden surge. Musk didn't even bother checking. Back at Tesla HQ, Musk was in the middle of a design review for the next-gen Tesla Roadster when Claire walked in again. Elon, another request, this time from Harvard Law. Musk didn't even look up. Guess they want me to speak? Claire nodded. They're offering an honorary degree, too. The engineers in the room laughed. Musk sighed, shaking his head with amusement. Tell them I appreciate it, but I'd rather spend my time launching rockets. Claire smirked. I already drafted that response. Musk grinned. You know me too well. The team got back to work, but before the meeting wrapped up, Musk turned to them with a grin. Oh, by the way, who here thinks I should build an AI lawyer? The room went silent for a second. Then an engineer raised his hand. Wait, are you serious? Musk just smiled. Maybe. And with that, the meeting continued. The world moves on, but Musk never stops. Weeks turned into months. The courtroom battle faded from the headlines, replaced by new stories of SpaceX launches, Tesla innovations, and Musk's ever-growing list of ambitious projects. But every now and then, someone would bring it up. At a business conference, a journalist asked him, Looking back, would you do anything differently in that trial? Musk smirked. Yeah, I would have worn a cooler suit. The crowd laughed. The journalist pressed on. So no regrets? Musk shook his head. Nope, it was fun, but honestly, I'd rather be solving real problems. And with that, he walked off the stage, already thinking about the next challenge ahead. Because while the world was still talking about his courtroom victory, Elon Musk was already on to the next frontier.